Mick Corrigan here from Action Coach, and today I'm with Peter Hamilton. Peter is the managing director of White and Ivory. Welcome, Peter. Great to meet you.
And you? And you?
So tell us a bit about your business then.
Um, we started 15 years ago with my wife and I, and a guy working at the kitchen table. um, we thought we had a bit of a plan about what we needed to do, but we kind of knew the sector because of the parent group that we'd worked for in American owned. I ran the European business and was significant in the American business. Um, And but what we did know, didn't want to be a big corporate, although we worked for a corporate. But uh, I suppose the essence of the model was that we wanted to be the master importer of containers largely, and generally our customers are bigger than us, but they don't really have an appetite or care too much about buying these particular products from us because they're a brand and they've got sexy and they've got identity and so on, and our products probably have less identity, but they all need them. So
And tell
we
us about your products.
so we started with the name White and Ivory came about because of curtain linings. So we wanted our competitors to be talking about us all the time. So they are
That's
white
good.
or ivory. And we started with linings, and we imported them well, first of all, in part containers with a guy who was helping us, and then as it built with full containers. Um, then we needed to add blackouts to the linings range, and then we needed well, we've got blackouts, so let's add some hospitality products. So there was FR blackouts and those and various coloured products, decorative stuff, but all fairly mundane. Really, we like porridge colours. They're the colours that people buy. We don't buy colours that people don't buy. Um, and we've made a name for ourselves in that sector, supplying brands who not retail brands, but fabric distributor brands. Um, there's several around here and down in the south, and then we expanded into Europe, and then eventually we started off in the USA about 10 years ago with a warehouse. Again, starting with linings and
Mm.
building the business with the same model, and it's working. So I can't say we claim great credit for an innovation, but we found a space in the market where there's nobody else really exists. Most of them talk to our customers, and therefore our customers don't want to talk to them, and the people who talk to us seem happy to do so. So we started this business, and we're just now looking to grow it. We have to Principally, that's growing it in Europe and the USA because we're, I won't say saturated, but we've got a large part of the UK market that we would consider, let's say, ours.
So you found your niche, you're supplying a need, and you're standing out as the main supplier. What differentiates you then? What is it that sets you apart from other options that might exist?
Well, we're structurally we're very low overhead, so we take pride in that, but it sometimes kills us. But we take pride in it, and we're doing in excess of £10 million with about 13 people. So I'd like to think we can. We used to say £1 million ahead. Now we say $1 million ahead. But unfortunately, as businesses grow, they tend to put on a bit of fat, shall we say? But I don't think we're excessively rotund in that respect. So first of all, we're low overhead, and therefore we can be low margin, and our customers see a lot of value in almost infinite stock availability for let's call it an acceptable margin that they're prepared to pay for the stock. That in a nutshell is how we started, and then we've added things that are perhaps a little, I won't call them sexy, but more interesting to the product range. For example, we've got our own patent on a product that is genuinely energy saving, as opposed to talking about energy saving. It's a curtain lining that reflects heat about 5 times more efficient than a normal curtain lining. And so we added some products like that, some technical, which is kind of playing to my engineering background, some aesthetic, less engineering, but still quite technical because of the blackouts, the things that actually quite are difficult to make, and we make them. Unfortunately, there's virtually no blackout manufacturing in Europe. There's none in America, so we go to China, where they're the best at it, and we've got big relationships, and so we're forcing that pace with both the suppliers as much as the customers.
Yeah, and having got yourself to where you are 15 years later, what does the future look like? What does the next 15 years look like, for example?
Well, I'm 60 something, and we didn't believe that we'd actually get to where we are, but we did. We did an EOT, an employee owned trust, 2 years ago, really to perpetuate the culture of the business and to give the young team that we've got here a reason to be committed to the business. And by and large, that part works, but the part that's still work in progress is them learning that actually running a business isn't perhaps all that they thought it was, and there's all sorts of things that come along which you didn't expect, and they get in the way of the business, and the usual stuff. So we're happy with progress so far, but I think we're going to be around for my wife and I, that is, going to be around for a few more years. But really, I'd like to see the business flourish. I'd like to see a new MD in place, and the team galvanized, really as we back out to pick up where we left off, and maybe there's 20 million of sales there when in another 15 years time. I don't know. The world is giving us every reason to think it's against us with Trump and everything else, but we'll have a go. We'll have a go.
And in those 15 years that you've had already, Peter, what have you picked up that you could pass on to prospective and developing business owners that are watching and listening to this? What are the key learnings for you along the way?
So I read a book once. I read more than one book, but I read a book once called what was it called? The Discipline of Market Leaders. And what it argued, and it's completely right, but I didn't believe it until I got older in life and actually started to execute the premise of this book without actually thinking about it, is that you can be good at one thing, probably. And if you try to be good at 2 or 3 things, you end up mediocre at all of them. And what we've done, and it's proven that part of the book right, is really focus on the supply chain. And I didn't think I'd be in a supply chain business, but that's where we've ended up. And the supply chain is the thing that our suppliers are bigger. Our supplier relationships are bigger than any of our customer relationships, and that has meant that we focus on them. We obviously focus on customers as well, but we focus on them to deliver new product and ideas and stuff, and that's worked for us. On the other hand, our customers, the good customers who I think get us and need us, focus on their market, on marketing, and don't focus so much on worrying about what we're doing, because they know we'll sort it out. And that's 2 needs we need our customers to market for us, and they need us to supply them goods. But
Yeah.
we don't kind of cross over too much, and that seems to be the lesson. You know, if I could pass anything on, I'd say find out what you're good at and focus on it.
Yeah. So long as it delivers it to a need, which is what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's no good
Absolutely.
if there's no need.
Yeah. Perfect. And quickly, last one, Peter. If you were to have it all over again, what might you do differently?
um, so I'm an engineer, and I probably my first job was at Rolls-Royce in aerospace, and I wanted to be in car racing and Formula One at the time, way back when. Um, and probably I'd love to have another go at that, and try and take my dad's advice not to go anywhere near textiles because it was a dying industry. But it's at the same breath, it's been good to us. We've had a lot of fun, and I'm not done yet. But I'd like to think in another life I'd try to execute the engineering side, my engineering degree, more than what I've learned about textiles. But I'm content.
Yeah. You'll take what you've got. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
absolutely.
good for you, Peter. Well, all the best for the future, and all the best for your employee-owned trust next generation too.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay. Thanks a lot.